When railroaders, especially in Columbus, used the term the Panhandle, they were referring to the former Pennsylvania Railroad between Columbus and Pittsburgh. The name Panhandle first appeared in 1868 when a company by that name bought the Pittsburgh and Steubenville Railroad at foreclosure. In 1849, the Pittsburgh and Steubenville was incorporated to build from Pittsburgh's south side to the state line of Virginia, later to become West Virginia. The Pittsburgh and Steubenville was completed in 1864 and became part of the through route from Pittsburgh to Columbus in 1865. Despite the advantage of being part of this through route, the road failed going into foreclosure. The Panhandle name was soon applied colloquially to the entire route from Pittsburgh to Columbus and beyond. By 1916, various mergers and consolidations had led to the formation of the Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Chicago, and St. Louis Railroad, connecting those cities. The entire route was still referred to as the Panhandle. In 1921, the PCC and STL was leased by the Pennsylvania Railroad for 999 years. Our look at the Panhandle is limited to what could be considered the original Panhandle from Columbus to Pittsburgh. This tape covers the Panhandle from 1st Street in Newark, Ohio to Pennsylvania Station in Pittsburgh. The remaining 35 miles from Newark to Columbus exercise trackage rights over the B&O's Columbus and Newark, or CNN division, and is covered in Volume 1. The route from Newark to Pittsburgh was built by several small railroads, eventually merging into the Pennsylvania Railroad in 1916. The Pensie's influence over the route was felt almost from the beginning. We begin our tour in Newark and proceed east to Pittsburgh. Coverage of the eastern portion of the Panhandle between Weirton Junction, West Virginia, and Carnegie, Pennsylvania is thin. Most traffic had been rerouted through Conway Yard by the time this footage was shot. Finally, a look at what's left of the Panhandle today. Less than half is still used, but there is hope for the future. A regional railroad, the Ohio Central, has purchased the route from Columbus to Gould Tunnel. Trains may yet again disturb the quiet of the eastern Ohio hills. Please note the maps are of a general nature since not all tracks are shown. This eastbound was shot from an overpass west of Hanover. Another eastbound coming through Hanover. The eastbound is coming through Sandcut, just east of Hanover. And now for a demonstration of how not to pick up train orders. The head end does a good job. However, the rear end, well. Later, the coal train meets eastbound TV4 on Conrail at the west end of the Wheeling siding. While chasing TV4 east, we soon discovered TV3 coming west. And passing the rear of the Wheeling coal train. We approached Gould Tunnel from an eastbound when the tunnel was still gauntlet tracked. It was later reduced to single track. This machinery was a system of fans used to clear the tunnel of smoke and gases during the days of steam and is located above the west portal. A westbound with some SP power. Gould Tunnel was at one time the 5th tunnel west of Pittsburgh. The operator aligns the switch out of the yard toward the Panhandle. The ore train is at HD, which is the east end of the westward Mingo Junction siding. Another set of Elkos heads east on the river branch behind Mingo Junction Tower. From high above Rockwell Tower on the river branch, our vantage point is along Route 7. Pitt Tower is now used by the bus company. This is not a public street, but a dedicated busway where the Panhandle tracks join the main line. The depot and office buildings are now apartments.